Here we go again. Katie, queen of the double standards, flexing her authority and firing Electra Forrester over a misunderstanding that she clearly knows nothing about. But hey, when it was Hope who got fired for a misunderstanding she totally could have controlled, Steffi was the evil bully. Classic. And don't even get me started on the whole bad publicity excuse when the scandal about Carter pulling a coup hasn't even hit the media yet. Remember a few years ago in 2021 when Brooke had a little too much to drink and kissed Deacon, and Ridge threw a tantrum and left her? Fast forward to November 2022, Ridge nearly marries Taylor, then ditches her too. And what was last year? Eric's infamous Christmas party. Oh, here we are again, repeating the same storyline. Ridge leaves Brooke, again, for Taylor and Steffi. Eric with his giant mansion, but somehow still finds himself back in front of Taylor. Wow, so original. The show is practically on life support, repeating the same plot lines like they're fresh. Ridge, man, he's just a male alley cat, hopping from woman to woman for the smallest reasons. Seriously, this is getting old. The writers are just spinning in circles with the same tired drama. It's like they think we're too dumb to notice. At least I had a couple of fresh ideas for storylines. Thomas falling for someone like Audra from Y&R. They get married, she fires Steffi, and then takes over her job. Or Taylor coming back married to a mysterious, handsome man with a dark past and a wandering eye. But nope, instead we get the same tired Ridge-Taylor-Brooke love triangle. Again? And seriously, Steffi and Ridge need to grow up. The two of them acting like teenagers, thinking they're running the show while Zenda gets up to God knows what. They need to figure him out. No one wants a rat in the business. Make him suffer already. And Electra? She needs to find out that Remy's no friend of hers. He's a full-on sociopath, stalking her. Meanwhile, Rick Forrester should just come back and join the Logan side because, you know, Brooke is his mom and all. At this point, just let the show die. Pull the plug already. We're all just waiting for it. Hey, welcome back to Fiction Forge. I'm Samantha here, and I'm so glad you're here. We've got some exciting stuff to explore today, so let's jump right in. So Ridge and Steffi are clearly under the illusion that Zendi's designs won't sell, and that'll somehow be the end of the company. Their big plan? Watching it all crash and burn so they can swoop in and take the company back. But here's the twist. Zenda's actually going to nail it, and HFTF is going to come back stronger than ever, selling like hotcakes. But let's talk about this whole spy situation for a second. Is it really okay for Eric and Ridge to send Zend back to FC just to report on what's going on? These are the same people who didn't offer him a job when they shut down HFTF. Now they're convinced his designs won't sell, which is basically their backdoor strategy to sink the company. But let's be real, Zenda's designs are going to sell. Big time. And then there's Carter. I get it, he's been all about defending Hope and her line because, well, they're kind of a thing now. But some people are convinced she's using him. Personally, I don't buy that. I don't think she's using him, and I don't think he's using her either, or at least, that's what I want to believe. But then, of course, there's that little comment he made last week. I couldn't have done this without her. That's the kind of thing that makes you go, wait, is he using her? And let's not forget, Ridge has been off his rocker ever since that whole helicopter incident. Add in Steffi's past struggles with addiction, and suddenly their decisions make a lot more sense, especially Ridge's behavior toward Hope. It's almost like they're not quite all there. Now, as for Forrester Creations, yeah, they're in deep trouble. Even if they bring Brooke back as CEO, what's that going to do? The woman can't work miracles without the Forresters backing her up. The reason she was CEO before wasn't because of her sparkling leadership, but because she had the whole Forrester family behind her. Without them, it's a sinking ship. If I were the Forresters, I'd just reboot Forrester Originals, go head-to-head with Hope and Carter, and run them into the ground. Then, when they're bankrupt, I'd swoop in and buy Forrester Creations back on the cheap. It's a perfect plan, if you like winning. So Brooke's running around in her bedroom having all the fun, loving the sex, kissing whoever, and now she thinks that gives her the right to steal from Forrester? Yeah, she's a real gem. A thief and a proud one, supporting her daughter, the gold digger in training. Classic. And Elektra gets the boot. Just like that? Seriously? The creep wins, as usual. Great job, writers. Keep letting all the bad guys win. I'm sure Remy will just waltz away unscathed too. Wonderful. Meanwhile, the Forresters and the Maroons are probably going to swoop in and take SC back, but too bad it won't be before Christmas or New Year's. Merry Christmas, Ridge and Stepchild. Enjoy your holiday cheer. Let's talk about how Kate and Brooke fired Elektra without even bothering to hear her side of the story. Firing Hope from the company and axing HFTF would have been unthinkable, but suddenly it's totally fine to toss Elektra out for the so-called best interest of the company. Hilarious. Ms. Ivy's probably regretting that blissful little moment with Carter, especially since Hope's got all the power now and still has her jewelry line. Carter? Yeah, he's such a class act, right? Removing every Forrester photo in sight, except for the Holy Trinity, Eric, Stephanie, Brooke, and Ridge. Subtle Carter. And Hope? Don't even get me started. She's so delusional, thinking they'll stay high if the Forrester family goes low. Honey, you're already in the gutter. You and Carter are the bottom of the barrel. At least Cindy gets it, choosing his family and spying on the company for them. Smart moves, and Carter's reinstating the HFTF line to look like a hero in Hope's eyes, not because it was wrongfully cut or anything. Brooke? She's taking the CEO job to back Carter and Hope while pretending to support Ridge and Eric. Eric probably can't even believe she'd back this betrayal. What a circus. So let me get this straight. Eric and Ridge are using Zenda to spy on Carter and potentially sabotage whatever he's trying to do with Forrester? Oh, this has to end well. I mean, Carter actually has good intentions, but of course, Ridge, Steffi, and Eric can't stand the idea that anyone else might have a successful plan. Heaven forbid they let someone other than the Forrester clan succeed. But let's be real, it's Steffi who's the root of all this drama with her personal vendetta. And then there's the Logans. Oh, the Logans. They love to act like Hope is misunderstood when Steffi fires her. But then when it's their turn, they don't even give Elektra a chance to explain. They just fire her on the spot. Hypocrisy much. Now, Hope's big talk about we and how everything is going great until, bam, it all falls apart. Watch, she's going to flip the script and throw Carter under the bus faster than you can blink. Oh, I now see how wrong Carter was to take over Forrester Creations. It was a terrible career move. The Forresters treated him like family. Classic Hope, always looking for a scapegoat when things go south. As for Elektra, girl, whenever someone tells you, we're just friends, and you get the no, we're not, response, back away slowly, it's about to get messy. Honestly, I'm so over this whole ridiculous Carter-Hope takeover of Forrester plot. I can't believe it's still going. And by the way, are you planning to check out the new CBS soap Beyond the Gates? Seems like a direct response from CBS about the lack of representation of Black actors on some shows. Who would you want to see in that new story? Could be interesting. As much as I'm not a fan of Brooke, I have to admit, she's shown a surprising level of honesty and commitment over time. She's even warned Hope about the consequences of her actions and actually tried talking to her, proof that Hope deserves better, even if she refuses to listen. And Steffi cancels HFTF, leaving Zend with no line to design, and he's supposed to come up with a plan to fix the company. Who's writing this stuff? Honestly, it's like a joke. Does any part of the show even have a bedroom scene anymore? Everyone's too busy having sex in the office or on the living room sofa. Steffi, meanwhile, runs Ridge, Finn, and Taylor like she's their mother, and they're her children. And seriously, Brooke should absolutely defend her daughter, just like Ridge always defends Steffi. Stop with the endless crying over Ridge. Brooke, he's not worth your tears. By the way, besides Logan, Bridget's son, and Lizzie, Rick's daughter, does Eric Forrester even have any biological grandchildren left? Oh, and Ridge can still be a designer, Steffi. But hey, if things don't work out, she can always take a job cleaning Hope's office. Or maybe Hope can just put Steffi in a cage in her office. Sounds like it could be a good fit. Everyone's convinced Svend won't work for Carter, thinking he'll stay loyal to his grandfather, Eric. But I'm calling it, he will work for Carter. Let's see who's right here. Seriously, I'm curious how many of us will be eating our words. Ridge? Oh, he's pissed off, and honestly, who can blame him? But the things he called Hope, yeah, some of it's probably true, but still, totally out of line. Now Steffi. She should have fired Hope by now. Not because of anything sexual, but because, let's face it, Hope's performance is a joke. As for Steffi herself, she needs to stop acting like a high schooler and stay out of her parents' relationship drama. Whatever's going on with them is none of her business. Taylor, on the other hand, has been diagnosed with BHS, broken heart syndrome, apparently. Oh, and let's not forget ROCD, relationship obsessive compulsive disorder. Girl seriously needs to see a therapist. And Brooke, she needs to let Ridge go and stop enabling Hope. The way she keeps excusing or ignoring Hope's behavior is beyond ridiculous. Katie's got a major blind spot when it comes to Brooke and Bill. She's worried about Poppy, really? Meanwhile, she's turning a blind eye to all the drama her sister's creating. Thomas, yeah, he's done some terrible things, and all for Hope, but let's be real, he loved her like no man ever has. Deacon, that guy's a mess. He married a serial killer and is proud of it. Looney Tune for sure. Carter's a total rookie in all this. He's still wet behind the ears, acting like he's drinking Similac. He falls in love like it's his job, and surprise, he gets hurt just as quickly. Liam is basically Ridge 2.0. He'll always have a soft spot for Steffi. Sure, he might have loved Hope, but it wasn't even close to how much he loves Steffi. And Bill? He really needs to stop associating with that crazy lunatic, Brooke, and go after a real relationship with Poppy. No more getting tangled up in Brooke's drama. Honestly though, can we just drop the whole Forrester thing? It's irrelevant. The writers call Ridge and his kids Forresters, and at this point, that's their name. Eric legally gave them that name, so who cares about bloodlines? Ridge and his kids have earned their place at FC. It's their legacy, with or without the blood. Stephanie made sure of that. Time to move on. Taylor said, Hope's a saint as far as Brooke is concerned. Oh really? Pot meat kettle. Because Taylor, you've been all about Steffi being a saint, right? You totally condoned and encouraged her relationship with Bill while he was married to Katie. Totally saintly behavior. Then, as soon as Bill dumped her for his wife, you stood by Steffi as she went after Liam, Hope's fiancé, like it was her divine right. And don't even get me started on the gondola incident. Steffi, with Bill's help, trapped Hope up there. Also, Steffi could convince Liam that Hope didn't want him, tricking him into marrying her instead. That's real saintly stuff right there. And then there's Thomas. Let's not forget about him. The guy has messed with Hope, Liam, and even Brooke in ways that should not be overlooked. And let's not pretend his involvement in Emma's murder just slipped under the radar. But sure, go on, act like you and your family deserve sympathy when none of you have even begun to own up to your mistakes. Oh, and let's talk about that little stunt where you shot Bill, ran off to another country, and left him to die because your daughter decided to sleep with him again. Oh, and this time, he was her father-in-law. But hey, who needs a paternity test, right? Apparently, Steffi can't keep track of her own love life. Guess that's how she always finds out who her baby daddy is. She can't seem to remember who she sleeps with, when, or whether she uses protection. Wipe that smug look off your face, Taylor. You'd never do what Ridge demanded of Brooke, right? You and Ridge conveniently covered up Thomas's murder of Emma, Steffi's involvement in Allie's death, and your own attempt at killing Bill. But sure, keep throwing stones at Brooke. And let's talk about what Brooke has done to deserve this. She was the one who tried to stop it all from happening the moment she found out, telling Ridge immediately. But of course, that's somehow her fault in your eyes. Some fans say Taylor isn't such a great psychiatrist, but honestly, I think she's excellent. She's had Hope and Brooke's behavior pegged from the start. Steffi's been right about them too. Liam should absolutely be defending Hope, his daughter, and Brooke against Ridge's ridiculous demand that Brooke kick Hope and her daughter out of their own home, or Ridge will pack his bags and leave. Like, seriously, is that supposed to be a threat? Newsflash, Ridge, it's not exactly a power move when you're making demands about people's homes like you own the place. Spoiler alert, you don't. As for Zende, I'm still betting he'll end up working for Carter. The guy wants to be a lead designer and prove everyone wrong. He's got the drive, and let's be honest, he probably sees this as his big chance to show the world he can do it. At least that's my take on it. And oh, the drama. I swear, someone must really have it out for me. Every time I post something even remotely critical of Steffi, bam, it's deleted. But let a Hope basher come along, and it's a free-for-all, with them calling Hope and Brooke every name in the book. It's honestly hilarious how sensitive some people are. Can't handle a little criticism, but dishing it out. Oh, that's fine. Now let's talk about Forrester Creations. It wasn't stolen from the Forresters. It was signed away by Ridge and Steffi. Until someone shows me solid proof of a crime, it's perfectly legal. But I guess facts don't always matter in soap opera land. And Hope? Please. She keeps throwing around the whole "we" line like she's in this together with Liam. But we all know the second the dust settles, she'll be throwing him under the bus. Watch her face the next time he says "we." She'll give him that look like, who the hell is we? It's coming, and if Thomas returns, oh, you know she'll be the confused, doe-eyed damsel in distress again, playing the part to perfection. It's honestly goofy how she's so out of touch with reality, but that's Hope for you. She's got zero backbone, and if anyone's going to save her and that poor excuse of a storyline, it's Thomas. No doubt. Brooke? Yeah, she should have just sided with Ridge and told Hope to pack her bags and leave the property. No question about it, but we all know Brooke's never the one to do what's best. Electra getting fired? Well, if the writing had any real depth, they might have given her a chance to explain herself, especially since it's been hinted she knows about those deepfakes Remy's posted. But nope, the writers decided to take the laziest route possible. Just have Katie and Brooke fire Electra off-screen so Ridge and Steffi can throw a tantrum about the Logans. Classic move, right? Because why bother crafting a clever way for the Logans to mess up at Forrester when you can just make Electra the scapegoat? This entire plotline is a mess. Remy looked like a creep from the get-go, and honestly, it's been so predictable that it's barely even worth watching anymore. The drama's stale, and the stakes feel non-existent. Ridge just doesn't listen, does he? He keeps harping on about how Brooke's always defending Hope, claiming she's taking her side. But honestly, if he actually bothered to listen, just a thought, he'd know that Brooke doesn't condone what Hope and Carter did. She just gets why it happened. Hope didn't wake up one day and decide to throw all logic out the window. Carter's been frustrated for a while, feeling underappreciated. And Hope, being a supportive partner, did what anyone would do, back her significant other. But of course, Ridge would rather dump all the blame on Hope. Meanwhile, Carter, not a peep, classic Ridge, let him stay with his beloved Taylor and his charming daughter. Honestly, at this point, he doesn't even deserve Brooke. And seriously, Brooke isn't throwing her daughter out of her own home, the cabin Ridge wasn't even living in. But sure, Let's pretend that's the same thing, Ridge. Oh, and Ridge, he's on a lying liars who lie to her, spewing nonsense about the Logans, just because he's still sulking over losing control of his company to his best friend. That's right, he signed over control to Carter, just so he could flirt with Taylor instead of, I don't know, doing his actual job? Disrespectful to Brooke? You bet. Steffi and Ridge are probably the two most incompetent CEOs in soap history. Honestly, that's the second best thing to come out of this whole storyline. I'm a fan of Ridge. I like the actor's no-nonsense style of acting. But come on. This time, Ridge is just beyond saving. He doesn't appreciate that Brooke went to him first, and he's unloading all the blame on Hope, his once-adopted daughter. You'd think he might have some empathy considering, he was adopted too. But nope, just utter frustration. And don't even get me started on Hope and Carter. What is even happening there? This could have made sense if we'd seen them actually fall for each other, if we'd seen their relationship build and their feelings develop. But no, instead, we're just supposed to buy into this random, out-of-nowhere romance that started with Carter thinking about Hope in lingerie, followed by Hope talking about how she felt seen, and then, surprise, they fall in love because of their shared hatred of Steffi. Wait, was it Hope's hatred of Steffi or Carter's? Honestly, I don't even know anymore. The whole thing feels like a plot point without any real emotional investment. I'm just supposed to imagine their chemistry. Rooting for Carter's brain tumor. Is that so wrong? Okay, but seriously, is it really wrong for me to secretly hope Carter has a brain tumor? I mean, at this point, it's the only logical explanation for the sheer level of stupidity this man is displaying. His character has been obliterated. And now Brooke is CEO? The same Brooke who ratted them all out? Yeah, because that's exactly who should be running a company. Someone who can't keep a secret to save their life. If Brooke has her way, Ridge will have the company back in his hands before the year's out. Of course, by the end of the week, he'll probably be tangled up in bed with Taylor again. At this rate, it's becoming crystal clear that Carter was never meant to be Hope's partner in crime. He was just shoehorned in to replace, wait for it, Thomas. Because who doesn't love a completely random twist in the plot, right? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.